What happened? What happened? I mean, what happened in your life? See, when you was in high school, I know you didn't think, man, I'm going to be delivering papers or working at Starbucks, or I'm going to be in the corporate behind the desk. I'm going to be driving for Amazon or driving for FedEx or UPS. Or you had big plans. You had big plans with your life. But what happened? What happened? Today in this video, we're going to explore what happened and what we're going to have to do to get back on the right track. This video is going to get a little ugly. You might want to, well, I'll tell you what, I'll do as best I can to keep it clean. Some of you guys will be driving in the car with the kids in the car, so I'll try to keep it a little as clean as I can. Or you might be washing dishes on a Saturday or something like that. And so I don't want to. I was gonna get loose, but let me don't get loose. Let me be as professional as I can be. But don't hold me to that. Yeah. What happened? What happened? You were going to be a superstar. Maybe not a superstar as far as entertainment goes, but it's just a superstar as far as being able to take care of yourself and your family the way you wanted to do it, being able to have the freedom and money to do the things that you want to be able to do. What happened? What happened? What happened? Okay, I wasn't there with you. I know what happened to me, but I wasn't there with you. So, let's try to just see what happened with you. And you can take this strategy that I'm about to tell you so you can do an evaluation of yourself. Because, see, the first thing we have to do is do an evaluation of ourselves and look and see what we wanted to do and what we're doing and how far away from that are we today. And this is something really, see, most people don't really want to be honest. See, people lie. People lie. And that's a problem. People lie, and I know I used to lie. I used to lie a lot. I know. I was the kind of guy that if you called my phone number, it wouldn't have, and it wasn't me addressing it. It would go straight. It would go to a voicemail with the company, with the service provider had it. Why? Because I didn't want my voice on there because I was doing so much, nefarious things. I just didn't want my voice on there and somebody recognize my voice and be able to, get in touch with me and then, make me face justice. I was a mess. I was an absolute mess. God reached his hand down and pulled me up out of the mud because I was a complete mess. Anyway, thank you, Lord. Man, I was a complete mess. So that's how I know. That's why I can speak so eloquently about being a screw up, because I was a captain. I was a general first class in the screw up army. I was. It's not somebody. There's nobody with chicken wings back here talking to you. I'm talking to you as a former general in the knucklehead army. So therefore, but I got a reprieve because in the day of love, God reached out his arms, and I had the sense to walk away from the supposed identity that I had and leave it to go rock with God and still learning how to, but at least I was able to walk away from the demon behavior that that I was involved with, and it created major incompetency in my life that I'm still trying to clean up, even after coming or being awake or being awakened or being reborn or being given another chance at life as an intelligent person, as a person who can use the mental skills that I've been given. Now I can use those skills. See, before I couldn't use them. I couldn't use them because, and I spoke about this on other videos about the demon possession, which is very real, but I know most people look at that as a spooky situation, and they really are not able to accept that they are being controlled by forces beyond their scope. They're not able to accept that. But they can accept having a cold, when you sneezing when you don't want to, you coughing when you don't want to. They can accept that. But they can't accept, when, you're behaving the way you don't want to as well, because a force is in you trying to control the electricity in your body and redirect it and reposition it, right, for its own preservation, right? Anyway, in my opinion, what happened to us is we get sidetracked, we get distracted, and it's not no super secret formula. You just get distracted, right? You're on your way to be this and that, and then next thing you know, you get in a relationship, and then and then you get off the track, and then what happens when you're in a relationship? What does most women say to you when you're in a relationship? We don't spend enough time together, right? So now here comes the first fear. See, because you've really been controlled by your fear. So the first fear is, if I don't spend more time with this person, they're going to go and find somebody else who will spend more time with them. I cannot handle seeing that situation develop like that. I am in fear of seeing this person happy with somebody else, right? We get crazy, some of us. Some of us, there's some people that have killed the woman or killed the man, right? Phil Hartman's wife killed the man because the man just probably broke down and told her, I'm not happy. I want out of this situation. His wife killed him and then killed herself. Why? Because she just could not handle seeing him happy with somebody else. There's people that's twisted like that out there. They're just really, most of us are twisted like that. So I'm going to say most of us, but some people will take it to the far extreme level where they will take action and actually cause harm or death to somebody just because they don't want to see that person with someone else and happy. It's sad. It's sad. Then there's people, they feel like they will rather you be with them miserable than for you to be with somebody else happy. See me, and I was not like that. I was always, if you're going to be with me, I want you to be happy to be with me. And if you're not happy to be with me, I'll take the L to let you go be happy, because I want you to be happy. Only in my younger days, real young, like 21, 22, was I like, I can't live without this person. And I'm willing to put up with all kinds of shenanigans to stay with them. See, that was when I was younger. As a more mature man, one strike and you're out. One strike, you're out. I mean, because I feel like I'm going to be so good to you. If you screw it up by getting a strike, there's so many other women out there that it's not even worth trying to rebuild something with you. It's not worth it. It's just like, it's like fixing a laptop that's 2 years old. It's not worth it. There's another laptop out there with better technology, better everything, and you could for what you could spend to fix this one, you could get a whole brand new one. So it's just not worth it. But I mean but that's because I had developed a love for myself where I respect myself enough to say I'm not going to I'm not going to put myself through this situation or be with somebody that's going to do that to me. I'm just not going to do it. But you have to develop that. We got to develop that because we walked off our square, right? Sometimes some of us, we just got involved with so many different things, man, and we became errant because of the depression. It pushed us into just foolish behaviors. Then the demons, I mean, just so many different things in America to throw you off the track. See, they're not teaching us what we need to know in schools. In these schools, you check it out. They're not teaching you what you need to know. They're teaching you what they want you to know. Well, they're teaching you what the budget would allow them to teach you, which is hardly anything. And you and me and our children, that's what they're teaching us. So when we walk out of these high schools, see, you back in the 40s, you walk out of high school, you get a job. You can actually get a trade in the high school because they had trade in the high school. You could walk out of high school, get a job, 2 years later buy a house. That's how it was in the 40s, 50s, and the 60s. 70s starts kind of slowing down, but still a little bit. In the 40s and 50s and 60s, you could have a single person income, and you could be you could buy a house, you could buy cars, you could have a nice lifestyle. This is the new millennium. You got to have dual income. A dual income. You have to. If you don't have a dual income, the other person has to be making at least 6 or 7 figures for you to live comfortably. I live in California. I mean, it costs $50 for a milkshake out here. You know what I mean? I mean, that was an exaggeration, but I mean, it's very expensive living in California. You got to pay, property tax, sales tax, this tax, that tax. You got to pay so many different things just to live out here. That a 6-figure income that's just to be where you can just pay your bills. Yeah, you can just pay your bills out here with that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and I'm sure it's like that in a lot of different parts of the country, New York, Florida. I mean, it's like that, Chicago. It's like that. But the point I'm getting at is what happened and how do we get off our square? And how do we get back? How do we get back? Do you want to go back? Are you happy where you're at? That's what you got to ask yourself. Are you happy? See, man, I didn't know I wasn't happy. I thought I was happy walking with the devil. I thought I was happy. I thought all the crap I was going through was just the cost of doing business of the lifestyle I wanted to live. That's what I thought. I did not realize that there were forces working against me to try to manipulate me into being a nervous wreck. I didn't realize that. This is just my story. I didn't realize that. I thought, hey, you're supposed to be unhappy most of the time. Are you? Are you? Think about that for just a minute. Think about that. Are you prepared to spend 20, 30, 20, 10, 20, 30 years being unhappy? And when I say unhappy, what I mean is, you want a certain lifestyle. You want to live a certain way. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're not promoting the death and destruction of somebody, there's nothing wrong with that. Why shouldn't you have what you want to have as far as a lifestyle is concerned, if it's available? You don't have to step on anybody's toes to get it. What's wrong with you achieving that lifestyle? But see, that's the thing that is you see, this is when you think about your life when you're young and you don't understand. But see, in this life and in this world, there's something called friction. this friction. And when you decide that you want to be better, you want to do something different. Let's say you went for 5 years in a relationship being a really passive person. I know I did. Like I said, listen to Captain Stupid. I already did all this stuff. So anyway, you go in a relationship and you be passive for 5-10 years. And then all of a sudden, one day you decide, you know what? I see where this is going. It's going downhill. It's going to get to a place where it's going to hit the ground. Why am I going to let it hit the ground? Let me try to pull the plane up and try to see if we can make this thing better. If we can land, on the wheels instead of, on the, plane itself, right? Well, but at some point I came into the understanding that I had to make a move. But what I did not anticipate was the friction. I didn't anticipate the friction, the pushback that the people around me were going to give me, because they had built their life around me being a certain type of person. They built their life around that. And so me changing threatened everything that they were doing and everything that they had going on. It threatened that. So they did not want me to become the person I'm becoming today. They did not want me to start that process. So they gave me all kind of pushback. You not spending no time with us. You not doing this. You not doing that. Why are you spending time doing that when you could be doing this instead? Or you could be doing, it was all kind of reasons why I shouldn't be talking to you now, making videos, and it's all kind of reasons why. This ain't no easy thing to do, man. I mean, some of these people, man, they're single. They can be up all night long and be out, or they got the great support from their families. I'm not one. I got support from God. That's that's who's backing me. I can't speak for nobody else, but I got God's backing me, man. I ain't no. Some of these people, I look at some of these people, they making videos, these beautiful women, man. And, the guys with the muscles and all of that, and the guys looking good, the guys look great. I got a face a mother would love, man. Only a mother would love. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, I got every impediment that should stop me from wanting to do this in front of me, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep on doing what I know in my heart I want to do. Like I told you guys, if you guys went to my other channel with the Black History Minute channel, and I was talking about my friend Chadwick Boseman, you know what I mean? A little bit about him. I mean, he was, I met that brother, man. That brother looked like he was a half a minute from being on Skid Row. Skid Row is a place in LA where, the whole city has come to an agreement that the homeless population can stay there. All of the missions are down there. All of the food, the kitchens are down there. That is just an area in downtown LA where everybody has agreed that the homeless can be on the street or meander around and whatever. And the police just have come to the agreement that, okay, this is where you guys are going to congregate. No problem. Just don't go past this street. Usually it's Figueroa or Broadway in the morning. You can't go past those streets into the tourist section. But other than that, we will not bother you if you guys don't walk up that way. So everybody understands this. That's what Skid Row is. So Skid Row is, and there's a lot of homeless people and a lot of people with a lot of different stories. I used to work down there, so I met a couple of them and know some of their stories. Just tragic stories of how they ended up there, because nobody wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, when I grow up, I'm going to end up on Skid Row. Nobody does that. So everybody has a story that's down there, and I heard a couple of them. Horrible stories. And so anyway, I met the brother Chad, and to me, because he wasn't no snappy dresser at that time. He wasn't no snappy dresser. He wasn't he didn't have a fly ride. He had an old broken down Honda Accord. He had like a 1997 Honda Accord or something like that. With a red door on it. It was green. The car itself was green. Every other place on the car was green except for the red door. So, but he had his goal. His goal was, I'm going to do this acting thing. I'm going to do that. And I ain't going to let nobody stop me. I ain't going to let nobody stop. And he didn't let nobody stop him. I use him and Kobe Bryant as my examples. I was talking before on another video about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant saw in his head himself standing on that table with the basketball in his hand, looking up into the crowd with the confetti flying. He saw that in his head at 5 and 6 years old. He saw it, but he determined in his head that that's what he was going to do. He made up his mind right then. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be that. That's going to happen. He saw that in his head and he made it happen. Now it took 20 years, but he made it happen. He made it happen because he kept going. But I'm telling you, we got to be like that as we get our lives back. We got to be like Chad. We got to be like Kobe. We got to be like these people, man. They are just relentless. Kobe was deranged. He was not right. This person, Kobe Bryant, was not a well-adjusted human being. Because why? Because he was so frustrated that he could not win a championship every year. It bothered him. It made him go back into the gym even more and lift more weights and shoot more jumpers and hit the leg machine, hit the weight machine. People like that are deranged. They're not well adjusted. They can't. Mediocrity is not going to work for them. I remember the brother Chad, man. He was doing all this stuff, still coming to work out, doing martial arts. He was just a bad dude. But he knew it. He said he had a vision in his head of what he wanted. And what he wanted was to be able to step onto that stage and make a difference and show the world that black men can be productive and you can make money working with black people in movies. And not black exploitation, but we can be people, civilized people, and people who got sense as well. I mean, we're not saying there ain't no knuckleheads in our ranks, but we need a balance. We need a balance. And that was his goal. His goal was to show that balance. We see he already knew that there was enough knuckleheads, thug number one, thug number two. He already knew that. Hustler, pimp number one, pimp number two, hoe number one, hoe number two. And he realized, hey, I can do this. And he was given an opportunity and he took it. And he did the most with it. He did the most with it. So proud of that brother. Same thing with Kobe. He did the most with it. But we recognize Kobe because of his attention to success and his not wavering. See, when you like that, you're gonna have friction. You're gonna have friction with your family. You're gonna have friction with your friends. You're gonna have people, they just not gonna understand you, because most people are okay with being mediocre because you don't make no waves like that. You don't have no problems like that. You know what I mean? You accept the fact that people can control your behavior. As long as they can control your behavior, they're okay with you. But you have to grow into being a God-like person. See, man, God, who tells God what to do? Because God already know what he's supposed to do, and he moving on that. You ain't got to tell God, hey, God, I left you a list of stuff I need you to. You ain't got to do that. Your prayer is nice. But you think you got to actually pray to God to tell God what you want? God already know what you want. It's whether you going to sacrifice and make that sacrifice that time for that prayer, or sacrifice that space in your head to give it to him, to connect with him. Because he got everything you need. If you connect with him, it's only good for you. God already got everything. What he needs you to connect with him for? He wants you to connect with him out of love, not out of need. He wants you out of love. If you love what he did for you and love what he set up for you, then cool. But just because you got caught up in something, oh, now I need you, God. But when I'm not caught up no more, I ain't gonna need you no more. I'm gonna be back, chasing these women. I'm gonna be back chasing these men. I'm gonna be back gambling. I'm gonna be back drinking. I'm gonna be back doing whatever I was doing, whatever. No, sir. No, sir. No, ma'am. We got to get it together. We got to get it together. No man knows the day, the hour when everything's gonna fall apart. We had a pump fake with this pandemic, right? It was a pump fake, but we don't know when it's gonna be for real. And it's gonna be like The Walking Dead. Everybody's gonna be all caught. You ain't gonna be enough people to even go to work. Then one of these foreign countries can just walk over here and take it, right? Because everybody's sick. We don't know. That's why you got to watch your diet, and you got to watch your mental diet. We got to watch our mental diet. See, I said on another video, one of the best things that ever happened to me, I lost the remote control to my TV. I couldn't find it, so therefore I couldn't watch TV because the way my TV is set up, the remote is for everything. But I was just listen. I come home, I'm tired, I'm too lazy to get up, and every time I want to change the channel, go up to the TV. Matter of fact, you can't, if it's with the cable on, you can't even change the channel. You got to change the cable through the cable. And I was too lazy to get the app on my phone and do it. No, I'm old school. Give me the thing where I can see the light up and everything. So I lost it. I didn't have it. So now I was forced to find something else to do since I couldn't watch TV. And I started getting so much more productive because I didn't saturate my head. And what I noticed is I pretty much watch the same things all the time. I watched this bad news about the news, and it was full of bad news. I watched murder mysteries, and that was bad news. I watched crime dramas, and I mean not dramas, but just reality crime shows, and I just noticed that, man, I was just clogging my head up with so many different things to think about that weren't going to produce income for me. It wasn't going to produce a better life for me. It was a blessing to have lost that remote. Now, most other people would have looked at it as a sacrifice, but I looked at it as a blessing. But it was a sacrifice because it was something I used to do, and I used to kind of enjoy it. But now I don't even watch TV anymore. On rare occasions, I may watch the news or something like that, the debate. But most of the time, I used to watch TV at least a couple of hours a day. I may watch an hour of TV in a week. Maybe. I just don't. I fill my head up with information that's going to help me be a better person. I don't want to be stuck like Chuck, because I'm getting enough negative influences from the people in my own home. Hey, you're not here. We need you to do this. We used to you being this way, and how come you just doing this? What is this all about? Why are you doing that? When you could see we need you to do this. I got every excuse coming at me in the book. I already know. So I know if I'm getting all those excuses, you getting excuses. But you know what? And this is the, and then they're gonna say, you selfish. Yeah, I am selfish. I had to be, because see, I realized that me not being happy and pursuing, which is involving me increasing my income, that's that is going to see people that are used to see people that are used to you being the fallback person. See, they're used to falling back on you. So it don't matter what's going on, man. They, in their mind, you'll always be the horse that can pull the cart. They can play around with whatever they're doing, but you'll be the one that's there to pull the cart. But I'm here to say, they don't realize, hey, I'm only making this much money, but our expenses keep rising. Eventually, the expenses are going to get over rise above the cart, and then we're going to have some serious problems. I need to do something. Plus, how are you happy in debt? How are you happy going without? How are you happy like that? Well, I got her and she loved me and I love her. Okay, that works when you're young, but after a few years, and this is especially with women, they start watching other people advancing, and they see them staying in the same place. I mean, it won't be long before they start raising questions, saying, "What's going on? How come we're still here? And these people have moved on, and this, and we're still here." Baby, I love you. We got love. The woman gonna say, "Hey, man, I know we got love and all of that, but hey, I need you to, you got to do something. You got to do something. You got to show me some progression. You got to show me some progression so that I can see that it's making sense for me to be here." Right? But that's them. Let don't even talk about them. Let's not talk about them. Let's talk about you. What's going to make you happy? You need to figure out what's going to make you happy. Whatever that is, what's going to make you happy. That's not going to make you disrespect anyone else or encroach upon any other responsibilities that you have. You're going to have to make yourself happy. If that's creating more income, if that's having more time to do other things, whatever it is. In my opinion, for all of us, my opinion, in a capitalist country, there is, let me say it this way, creating more income, if you made more money, almost all your problems will go away. Almost. Money ain't gonna solve all your problems, but it'll come really, really close. Really, really close. Really, really close. It'll knock out enough of your problems to where the ones that are still there will not seem as bad. Not seem as big anymore. So that's for me. But everybody ain't like that. Like my friend Chad Boseman, he wasn't into money. He wasn't into money at all. He was just he was really into life and people. He was into people. He was a type of person that liked to create bonds and brotherhoods with people. So he wasn't, a dude that they could, hey, you could do some dastardly deed and you get all this money. He would never have gone for nothing like that. Never, ever, ever, ever. Like most of us are desperate enough to be able to do stuff like that. But he kept his lifestyle so simple that he would never be in that situation like that. You know what I mean? The guy kept his lifestyle really simple. And you had Kobe Bryant, just a lunatic. I mean, compared to the rest of us, right? The rest of us can't even imagine focusing that hard on any particular goal other than having a good time. That's how we have been trained or been misled into being in a capitalist society, in American society. I'm gonna slice it down to black people because I need to talk about my folks and how they need to improve their lives. And you need to improve your life. And I don't care what color you are, but especially those of us, descendants of the slave trade, we need to learn how to get more out of life. we a lot of times will accept certain things in life because we don't want the other person saying, oh, you think you something now because you got this and because you got that. Man, listen, let me tell you something. I was so demon possessed. I was so crazy. At this point, I ain't worried about what nobody gonna say to me. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not really into a lot of money. I'm only looking to increase my income so that I can have more options in this life. I really ain't about money where I'm like, oh, I got to have a $300 suit on every day. I'm not really into that, or drive a Maybach and all that. I really ain't into that. I just want the options. I'd probably still drive my little Nissan Versa. I wouldn't care. Really, I just want to be able to have the option of being able to do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. I'm getting there. I want you to get there with me. Look at your life. Examine your life. How you going to get back? I'm going to tell you how you going to get back, and it's going to be tough. You're going to have to walk through all of their objections. You're going to have to walk through that. And you may unfortunately be in a situation where you got to say goodbye to some people. Friends, family. You may have to say goodbye to some people. You may have to tell them, hey, look, I'm going this way. Like the example I made about Lot, the prophet Lot. I'm going this way. If you ain't going with, if you're gonna go with me, you're gonna go with me. Don't look back. Don't look back. That's a metaphor for don't even think about the stuff you don't think about the way things used to be. You looking forward. And if you love me enough to be with me, then you're gonna have to deal with me and my mission. Because me and my mission, we to go together. Kobe Bryant and his mission to be back, they went together. His wife had to understand that. She finally came into the realization of the type of guy she was with, and she had to deal with that. And she loved him. I'm sure she didn't like it all the time, but she knew there ain't nothing you gonna do to change that man. That man, he been dreaming about being that person since he was 6 years old, 5 years old. There's nothing you're going to do to change this man. The man is deranged. The man has a mental block where he cannot think about nothing but being 100% successful at all times to whatever he touches. That's the kind of mentality we got. They call it the Mamba mentality. I don't necessarily call it the Mamba mentality. Hey, call it whatever you want to call it. What I call it is super focused. You have to become laser focused, super focused, and you have to be willing. You have to be willing to walk away from people that are not going to help you get there, or not going to support you, or that are going to try to pull you down. You got to be willing to say, hey, man, look, this is what I'm going to do. Hey, if you keep on doing that, then I'm leaving. Okay, well, you're going to have to leave then. See, when you get like that, that's a gut check for the average woman. The average woman's going to look at you and say, wow, he said that. Well, he must be serious, because usually I can punk him back down when I say something like that. But, hey, he must be serious. I better back off. So it's a gut check for him. Or the man. Hey, man. Hey, girl, where my dinner at? I'm going to make it, but I got this to do right now. Just calm down. I'm going to make it when I got this to do. What you doing? That ain't nothing. Stop doing that. Stop. You ain't got to do that. That's nothing. Girl, I'll make the money. Whatever. Right? Just anything to discourage you, because they don't want you to be a free thinker no more. Because they turn their backs on the truth, and they don't want to accept the truth, and they don't want you to start accepting the truth, because then you're going to start asking questions, and then you're going to start looking for changes, and then you're going to start creating a havoc to the program. See, they got a nice little program. I'm talking about the people around you. They got a nice little program based upon how you used to be. I know, I've been through this. Now you got to decide. So I'm telling you, are you happy? You got to ask yourself, are you happy? If you're not happy and you know what you want, how you going to get it? And how you going to get it? To get it, you're going to have to walk through the fire, and you got to walk through those people that they say that you said you love, and they said they love you. You finna see how much they love you. And don't get your feelings hurt. Don't get your feelings hurt when you see that they can't stand that you want to improve your life, because they're not looking at it from your eyes. They're looking at it from their loss. It's their loss that you gonna do this. See, that's how they looking at it. You can't get scared and get your knees buckling and go and turn on your heels. You got to say, well, God will take care of them. If me being the best person I can be is not good enough for them, God bless them. Let them go find somebody who is the best person they can be for them. Right? If you really see, this is what I always use. This is what I always say. If you love me, and you know you're not going to make me happy, and you're not going to do what I want you to do to be happy, why would you not want me to be with somebody who would make me happy if you love me? But those people don't want you to ask those questions, because they like, what you talking about? I love you. I've accepted the fact that I just need you to accept my incompetence. My incompetence it's nothing personal. I ain't trying to be, it's nothing personal. It's just, I'm just incompetent. And you should just accept that. If you love me, that's how they think. If you love me, then you should love me and my incompetence. Right? But they don't expect you to be incompetent. They expect you to fire on every cylinder. Bang, 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 bang. I'm telling you, man, if you want to really live, if you really want your life, you got to go for it. You got to go for it, because nothing is promised. No day is promised to none of us. Nothing is promised. Nothing is promised to any of us. Your health you could have a health challenge. You could have an accident. You could have a job loss, a layoff. Anything could happen to rock your boat. You need to be always walking towards happiness for yourself, which is for people like myself. It is peace of mind. That is happiness to me, where I'm at peace with the way my life is going and the way I'm behaving in my life, and the people around me are behaving towards me. That's peaceful to me. I have the ability to go and do whatever I want to do because I have the financial wherewithal to do that, and I'm okay with that. You're not gonna please everybody. You're never gonna please everybody. I don't care what you do. Even if you get financially independent, you're not gonna please everybody. There's gonna be some people that say, "Well, if you financially free, then put me on your payroll." I mean, you're never gonna please anyone. You got to please yourself. If God touched your heart to help somebody, help them. But you got to get back on your square to do any of that. You got to get back, because you got to remember what happened to you. What happened to you? What happened? And are you going to let it continue? Or are you going to step in there and do something about it? Don't be no punk like I was. I was a punk for so many years. And I finally realized, man, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. I see the handwriting on the wall. I have to do something. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, I made a lot of enemies, but I got much more respect from people. I mean, even though they didn't like the fact that I was very honest, they didn't like that, because I was not a very honest person for most of my life. But at a point, I had to be honest with myself. I started being honest with everybody else. I made a lot of enemies, but it was one of the best things that happened to me, because I was able to understand that, honesty is the best policy. You should be honest with people, especially people you want relationships with. You should sit them down and tell them, this is what I want to do. I want to be an entrepreneur. I not only want to make money going to my job, but I also want to start this other little hustle. You ain't got time to do that. You got these kids, you got this, you got that. How you gonna do all that? You're just trying to just. I mean, you're gonna get. I mean, most people are gonna get blowback, and if you're not getting blowback, God bless you. Most of us is going to get blowback from that because we was just so nice of a person that most people got used to the fact that we were the ones that's going to bend over. But when you stop bending over, man, it's going to be a problem. I'm telling you, it's going to be friction. So expect that. So don't say, "Oh, I'm going to change my life." Don't, you know what I'm saying? You're going to say, "Oh, the brother told me, I watched that video. Brother told me, I'm coming in here, wife, I'm going to sit you down. I'm going to tell you everything I don't like about," and I ain't telling you to be, I'm telling you to be strategic. Don't be stupid. Don't go in there and just say, I made a big list of all the stuff I don't like about you. That ain't what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you to first look at yourself. Make that big list about yourself first. What is the things you don't like about yourself that you need to change? And then change those things. Then when you do that, that's when you're going to start, other people going to notice that, and then they're going to say, "Why are you doing this and that?" And then that's when the friction is going to happen because they know if they can see it's coming. If you're doing all this with you, you're going to bring it to them. But you're doing it for a good reason. You're doing it to improve everybody's life. If they feel, even if they don't understand that, that's what you're trying to do. And if that's not what they want, then they got the right to, go do something else where somebody who will continuously lie to them and tell them everything's going to be okay when it's not going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. The person should be thankful that you got your eyes open. You can see that things need to be, how much better things would be if you were happy. They say happy wife, happy life. But I say happy relationship, happy life. Because the relationship takes two people. Just because your wife is happy don't mean you happy. Ooh. I'm going to let that one sink in and let that one swirl around for a couple of weeks in your head. And that one, that missed a lot of people. So I'm going to let that one swirl around. But just because your wife is happy don't mean your life is happy. And in the vice of the reversa. Just because your husband is happy or your boyfriend or your man or your spouse is happy, that don't mean you happy. That don't mean you happy. Because when you sit them down, I did this. Take it from Captain Stupid. I already did all this stuff. When you sit them down and say, "Hey, man, I'm not happy," they go, "What? This thing is moving great." Yeah, it's been great because I do everything you want me to do. Regardless to what you do for me, I'm always on point. So yeah, it's going great for you. They can't. What? How could you want to change this situation? It's great. Who you been talking to? Oh, you talking to them dudes down at the barbershop, huh? They got your head floating around. Who you been talking to? Your little cousin, your little sister. You been talking to her. Now you want to try and run that kind of program up in here. Man, look, I already done went too long. I'm telling you, you want your life to improve, you're going to have to be willing to take some arrows to do it, and you're going to have to be willing to take some steps, and you're going to look crazy. Kobe Bryant looked crazy. The man was out of his mind. To the average person looking at him, he was out of his mind, but he was focused. He knew what he wanted out of his life. Do you know what you want out of your life? And if you do, what are you willing to do to get there? I'll talk to you later on the next one. Peace.